whose title I've been so greatly privileged to bear during so much of my life and duty.
Okay, wait, stop everything. Did you hear? Something absolutely jaw-dropping just happened at Buckingham Palace. King Charles, yes, the king, handed over the legendary sovereign sword to none other than Princess Catherine. And let me tell you, this wasn't just some fancy ceremonial gesture. This was seismic. A royal bombshell, if you ask me. Because this sword, it's not your everyday antique. Oh no, this blade carries centuries of power, history, and monarchy magic. And now, it's in Kate's hands. Goosebumps, right? You're probably wondering what this even means. Why now? Why her? Oh, we're getting into all of it, so buckle up. This sword, darling, is drenched in royal lore. Not only has it seen kings crowned and kingdoms rise and fall, but it was believed to have been swung, yes, actually wielded by the greats. Think Henry V, the Tudors, and even during the time of the Plantagenets. And now, Princess Catherine is part of that legacy. Insane. The sword isn't just a piece of steel, it's a literal time machine. It's seen battles, betrayal, and royal rebirths. It's jeweled up with gems that scream, "I belong to royalty." The hilt alone, designed to resemble a crown. And the blade, get this, has engravings that tell stories older than your grandma's grandma. Every detail, every line crafted like it was destined for a queen, or a future queen. Now, when Charles handed that sword to Catherine, this wasn't just passing down an heirloom. No, this was a declaration. A quiet one, sure, but loud in meaning. He wasn't just giving her a weapon. He was handing her a legacy, a message. You are the future. Let's be honest, Kate's no stranger to responsibility. She's a devoted mom, a powerhouse in philanthropy, and let's not forget how she holds herself with poise even when royal drama explodes all around her. And now, with this sword, she's stepping into a role that's beyond titles. This is influence, real influence. And trust me, the room didn't just watch this happen, it felt it. People teared up. It was like time paused for that one emotional second when the past met the present and nodded in approval. But to really understand this moment, we've got to rewind a little. This sword, oh boy, it was forged back in King Edward VII's era. Symbol of strength, honor, royal grit. Then it passed from hand to hand, Henry V, Henry VII, each adding a new chapter to the blade's story. The handle, decorated with roses, thistles, shamrocks, symbols of the entire United Kingdom. And the centerpiece, a fat sapphire shining like wisdom itself. This sword has literally sat through coronations, hidden through wars, survived executions, no joke. Remember the chaos of 1649, when Charles I was beheaded? Yeah, supporters hid the sword like it was treasure. They protected it through the storm, and when monarchy returned, so did this blade, gleaming and glorious. It was practically reborn. And now it's with Kate. This sword isn't collecting dust in a glass case anymore. It's alive again, in her hands. Let's talk about Kate for a sec. Her story isn't some royal fairy tale. She wasn't born with a title. She grew up like most of us. Family trips, school dances, low-key life. But there was always something about her. That quiet confidence, the grace. You couldn't miss it. Then came college, and that fated meeting with Prince William. Who could have guessed that a shy girl from Reading would one day become the heart of the monarchy? She didn't force herself into the spotlight. She earned it, slowly, thoughtfully, with dignity. And now, she's holding the sword, literally and symbolically. That moment, it's not just a milestone, it's a statement. She's not just William's wife, she's a force in her own right. This sword now represents a woman who's brave, grounded, and ready to shape the monarchy's next chapter. But behind all this poise, there's been pain. Early 2024 hit like a brick. The world found out Kate had undergone a secret abdominal surgery and that the diagnosis was cancer. Hearts shattered. While recovering, her focus was still her kids, George, Charlotte, and Louis. Can you imagine? Battling cancer but still worrying about bedtime stories and lunchboxes. That's Kate. In March 2024, she bravely opened up, shared her truth. She spoke about the fear, the kind that stops your breath, but she did it for her kids, for her family, for everyone watching. And she did it with a calm that made the rest of us believe we could get through anything too. She began chemo in February. Ports, treatments, hospital visits, 9 months of hardship, 9 months of strength. Her visits to the Royal Marsden Hospital weren't just routine, they were battles, every single one. She talked about the side effects, the brain fog, the fatigue, the emotional toll. And yet, she smiled. She showed up. She stayed soft even when the world felt hard. Her brother James stood by her. William called 2024 the hardest year of his life, but he never left her side. They told the kids gently, wrapped them in love, and moved through the storm as a family. Then came September 9th, 2024. The good news, she was done with chemo. Cue the cheers and collective sighs of relief. By January 2025, she was in remission. The worst was behind her. But recovery? That's a marathon, not a sprint. And she knew it. Kate didn't rush back into duties. She chose her moments. Trooping the color, Wimbledon. Moments that showed, I'm still here. I'm still fighting. Even skipping Royal Ascot in June 2025. That was strength too. A choice to prioritize prioritize health over appearances, she still worked behind the scenes, quietly, strategically. Meetings like the one with Melinda French Gates weren't just chit-chat, they were signs. Kate's not done, she's just getting started. And her story isn't just about sickness, it's about transformation. She reevaluated everything, started asking deeper questions. How does she want to serve? Where can she have the most impact? Kate and William became patrons of the Royal Marsden NHS Foundation Trust, a nod to their journey and a commitment to others on that path. Some days were still tough, words hard to find, energy low, but she kept going, because that's who she is. Her family, those 3 little faces and William by her side, remained her anchor. Through it all, love held them together. In 2025, she's not just surviving, she's glowing in a quieter way, softer, but stronger, more human, more real, and the world sees it. She's no longer just Princess Kate. She's a symbol of grace under pressure, of bravery with a smile, of the royal future. And this is why she now holds that sword. The marriage of Prince William and Catherine in 2011 wasn't just a royal event. It was a fairy tale people clung to. I mean, who didn't cry watching that wedding on TV? She looked flawless, but let's be real. Behind all that glamour was a young woman about to enter a goldfish bowl of public scrutiny. Everyone had opinions, everyone had comparisons, especially to Princess Diana. Remember that? Could Kate ever live up to Diana's legacy? People whispered. And honestly, she didn't try to. She walked her own path. Quietly, gracefully, with no need to outshine anyone. She picked her causes: mental health, childhood development, addiction recovery. And she didn't just attend events. She rolled up her sleeves, had the real conversations, showed up with intention. No big speeches needed, just a kind hand on a child's back, a reassuring glance, a genuine laugh. She made people feel seen. And eventually, everyone realized this wasn't some porcelain duchess. This was someone real and powerful. Then cancer happened, out of nowhere. And suddenly, everything changed. But Catherine, she didn't crumble. She opened up, shared her pain, and still protected her children fiercely. And that is why people love her even more now. When she said in January 2025 that she was in remission, the relief was collective. The smiles, the tears, the applause, it was like the entire world could breathe again. And through it all, William was by her side, quiet, steady, proud. That moment, it didn't just heal a family, it united a nation. And King Charles saw it all. He watched her go from an outsider to the very center of the monarchy. That's why he chose her. That's why she received the sovereign sword. It wasn't random, it was earned. Now picture the room: Buckingham Palace, velvet drapes, the winter sun glowing through tall windows, marble floors shining, golden mirrors bouncing light off the crystal chandeliers. Not a sound except hearts pounding. King Charles stood there in full navy uniform, medals gleaming. He held the sword with both hands. And Catherine? She walked in, composed, glowing, in a long dark blue dress that shimmered just like the sword's sapphire hilt.
For all the wonderful messages of support and for your understanding whilst I've been recovering from surgery.
You could almost hear time stop. William stood by Camilla, eyes fixed on his wife, full of pride, emotion, and a love that needed no words. Camilla nodded slightly, recognizing what this meant. Catherine wasn't stepping into the future, she was becoming it. Then Charles spoke. And oh, his voice, it wasn't just regal, it was fatherly, emotional. He spoke of duty, of legacy, of love for his family. He handed over the sword like passing a torch, and when Catherine took it, her hands steady, her gaze sure, it was electric. This wasn't just a weapon, this was trust. This was history. And Catherine held it like she understood every bit of its weight. The moment she lowered the blade, you could feel a collective shift. William's eyes glistened. Camilla smiled softly. The royal aides? They knew. This was a moment no one would ever forget. That sword, now in Catherine's hands, carried a new meaning, a new era. And the public, oh, they lost it. The internet exploded. Social media flooded with fan art, tributes, and hashtags. Then Catherine the Great trended for days. People left flowers outside Kensington Palace. At Buckingham, they gathered just to glimpse her smile. The sovereign sword became more than a relic, it was a beacon of hope, and the press, even the tabloids, were stunned into reverence. Headlines everywhere: "The future is Catherine, a princess reborn. The sword has chosen." And how could they not? This was the same woman who just months before had been fighting cancer. And now she's standing taller than ever, symbolizing compassion, resilience, and evolution. Because this wasn't just a sword being passed down. It was the monarchy being reborn through her. Royal historians compared it to Elizabeth II's coronation moment. Others drew parallels with Charles's own gestures of reconciliation, like gifting a ceremonial sword in Canada. But this was something more intimate, more raw, more real. It wasn't for show, it was personal. A heartfelt message from a father to a daughter-in-law. You are ready. And Catherine proved it. She didn't gloat. She didn't dramatize it. She carried the sword with grace and humility, and the world saw it, felt it.
And cancer had been present. My medical team therefore advised that I should undergo a course of preventative chemotherapy.
And she inspired people, patients, parents, women everywhere, those battling sickness, those raising kids, those juggling a million things. She became a symbol that it's okay to be vulnerable and still be strong. Her connection with Charles, it deepened. What started as royal formality turned into deep admiration. He calls her "my dear Catherine" now, and that says everything. This wasn't just about royal duty anymore. It was about trust, respect, and building a monarchy that actually reflects the people it represents. Catherine, ordinary girl from Reading, now the most beloved woman in the monarchy, has changed everything, and she's just getting started. Catherine's entire journey is a masterclass in transformation. She didn't come from royal blood. She didn't have centuries of tradition behind her. But what she did have? Heart, dignity, and a kind of strength you can't teach. When she entered the royal family, people watched her like a hawk. Every outfit, every glance, every word. But she didn't flinch. She didn't try to be Diana. She didn't fake perfection. She stayed Catherine. And now, that authenticity has made her one of the most trusted, beloved figures in the world. She's redefined what it means to be royal. She's not just standing beside Prince William. She's walking beside him. Equally, powerfully, quietly shaping the future of the monarchy one compassionate act at a time. And now the world watches her with admiration, awe, and a little bit of love in their eyes. Because Catherine isn't just rewriting the role of princess. She's redefining royalty itself. So, what's next for the woman who holds the sovereign sword? We can only guess, but one thing's for sure, whatever she does, she'll do it with heart, and we'll be watching. Now it's your turn. What do you think about Catherine's rise and her future in the royal family? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, share this with someone who loves royal drama, and of course, subscribe for more emotional royal stories. And don't miss what's next. Click the video on your screen before you go.